Welcome to my channel. In this video, we are going to create CRUD functionality with riverpod state management. We are going to use Firestore as a database. Let's import Cloud Firestore. Let's run this. CocoaPods issue. Okay, let's fix this. Let's enable this. We are going to create CRUD of items which contain an image, title, description, and timestamp created at. So let's create model of item. First we will create core folder, then inside we will create models folder, then item dot item contain id also. This is a document id. There is a one plugin which is class generator dot data class generator. We can use that to create constructor, then JSON serialization. Here we made all the properties final because we are not going to change these properties directly. We are going to remove this id from toMap because id contain in document, Firestore document. There is no need to add in field again. Here we are going to change first of all from Firestore. This will take document snapshot doc, then there will map which will be the map will be doc.data. You have to cast this. Okay. This is fine. Now created at will be timestamp, so we have to convert it into date time. So there will be a method for timestamp to date. Okay, it will automatically convert it to date. Then for id we have doc.id. This is the document id. Same to this we are going to create timestamp using date time from date created at. These are not required. So this is our model done, but we have to add one more conversion which is copy with. We need copy with also. Here it is. When we go to update the item, copy it will be used. It need there. So let's create one folder for items. This folder contains all the item related stuffs. So let's create file write item page. We are going to write using write word because we are using same code for both adding and editing. So this is our specialty of this tutorial. So add and edit means we are going to write item page. Let's create subfolder providers. Write item view model provider. We can also name it like write item notifier provider. So first we will create class write item view model, which extends change notifier provider. We can also name it write item notifier. So I am using view model because it indicates MVVM architecture in name also. Write item view model provider equal to change notifier provider content write item view model. Okay. So let's create a UI first. Okay. What we will do, there will be floating action button. By using that, we are going to write item page. Let's add it in router. Here we are at write item page. Here will be one app bar. Title will be, initially it will be add. When we edit, then it will be edit item. Now it is add item. Okay. We are going to use column here. It will be scrollable. We will make it scrollable by using single child scroll loop, because when you use a list view, widgets can lose states while scrolling because they rebuilds. good for picking an image. What we did here, I added some more content padding. It should be at least 16 here. So that's why I changed in input decoration theme, so it can apply all over application. So let's continue. So you can go with this, or you can create a floating action button also extended. This will be consumer. So first we will create an initial item which is empty. What we did here, we have taken empty model of empty object of item, we have named it initial. When we create, this will be item.empty, so we will update it, change value by using text fields and send to the database to create. When we go to edit, it will be different item object which we are going to update. We are going to give the object to the initial which we are going to update. What we will do here, we'll create all the variables which used for input. Let's first is string title. Okay, what we will do here, we will do encapsulate this. Okay, then this will be null. If title underscore is a null, we are going to take title from initial. Okay, and we are going to use notify listener also, because when all fields are entered, then button will be enabled. There is another method also. We can directly give title to the initial, but for that we have to remove final for that, which is not good. We have to keep all the finals here. So mistakenly we should not change the value of properties of item. So that's why we are not going to change item directly. We are using these properties because sometimes we need some other methods also, like notify listener. That's why we are going to create all the input variables again here. Same with description. Let's encapsulate it. It will be null. If it null, it will take initial dot description. Okay, then it will be a notify listener here for image. So we'll create a getter for image, string image. It will be nullable because while adding image can be null, means image not uploaded it. Okay, so what we will do here, initial dot image is empty, then we will return null, else initial dot image. This will be getter. So we will create one more getter, which is edit, means we are editing or adding. So how we can check this? When initial.id is not empty, then we are editing. Let's add rep, or we can add reader in constructor. Also, we are going to access loader here. You can check my previous videos or source code. Why I am using this type of loading layer. This is loading provider, which is used in loading layer. Basically it adds layer on the page, right item page, final model rep dot watch right item view model provider. on change model dot title equal to v. Same with this. Okay, here when user enter the title, this title gets updated. When we access this title gets accessed. When user don't enter title, the initial value gets accessed. This feature useful while editing because user don't update title, the initial value still remained. Means whenever we get title, if user not edited, it will get previous value again. This feature useful while giving initial value also. Let's do this. Okay. Means while editing, this field gets filled with initial value of title. So, initial value will be model dot description. It will take this value as a initial value from initial dot description. While adding, it will take empty. While editing, it will take that previous description, initial description of which we are editing. Okay. When user update the description, when we get description, it will give updated description because it will be not null. So when this is null, means user not entered, it will give initial value, initial description. Let's create one variable for file. This is from .io. Whenever we have to encapsulate it because we want notify listener when your file gets picked. Here as a decoration image, when model.file not equal to null or model.image not equal to null, then decoration image. When model.file not equal to null, then file image. Else network image. If file not equal to null means user picked file, then we will show that picked image. If user not picked and there is already another URL, means while editing there is an initial image, so we will show that. While adding there will be null. So what we have to do here as image provider, we need to do casting here. Here if model dot image not equal to null, no, equal to null, or model dot file equal to null, and if both are null, then you show this icon. If there is already image, so we don't need to show this icon. Now we have to import that image picker also, so we'll add it, that image picker package. Let's implement pick image function, just a detector. We are using gallery in this tutorial. We can also add source selection picker, or later we can also add image cropper, but in this tutorial we are using normal image picker. We are going to pick image from gallery. Yes, it's working, but we have to fit box fit cover. It's good now. Let's create getter which is enabled, which provide button should be enabled or not. Okay, what we'll do, title is not empty and description is not empty. And image not equal to null, or file not equal to null, means at least image should be there while editing, or file should be picked. It can be while editing or adding. Then button will be enabled. Then what we can do here, we can use this getter here, model dot enabled, if enabled else null. Okay. Okay, now it's done. Now button is enabled. Okay, here one more issue, we have to main axis alignment will be attained, because we want this peak layer at the end. and we'll wrap this complete scaffold with loading layer. Let's create a write function which handle add and edit both. Now we will get updated item here. Updated initial dot copy with. We are using copy with method now. Description is a description. Title is a title. No need other. What it is doing now, while adding, the initial will be empty, and when user enter these values, it will give entered values, enter description, enter title, because this title will be not null. When user enter the title, then this will give enter title, enter description, means. And while copy with, by using copy with, you are updating the initial, means we are overriding initial object, and means this is a updated item. Okay, while editing, if user enter title, this will give enter title. If user not change title, this will give initial title, means it will give same value again. Same with description also. What we will do now, we'll create a repository for items. We are going to create provider for repositories also, because we don't want to create multiple instances of item repository. Item repository will contain function related to Firestore. We'll create an instance of Firestore here. Then what we will do here, we will create same write item function. Okay, this will get item as parameter, and this will also get file. File can be nullable, because while editing, if user not change file, so file can be nullable. What we will check here, if file not equal to null, we will update here else null. Here will be upload image function. Let's upload this file. If file is not equal to null, we have to create firebase storage instance. Storage dot rep. This will be images. Put file what we will do here, oh yeah, done. What we are going to do here, this is await storage dot rep images. It will put file in images folder of our storage. Then after that, after uploading file, we are taking rep properties from that stacks snapshot, and after that we are using get download url. Get download url is also future, that's why we are using await again here. Okay, it means when file is not equal to null, this file gets uploaded and image url gets url. Okay, then now what we'll do here, we will use firestore collection items. We have to use doc here. We have to use item.id here. While adding, this will be empty, but while editing, id will be there. That will be document id. So while editing this is okay, but while adding this will be empty. So what we will do here, if id is empty, then we will use null, else item dot id, means while editing it will take id. If id is empty, it will be null. It will be null means when you give null means we are not giving anything here, it will create new document. But we have to set for that, means we are not adding directly in collection, but we have to set. We are not using collection.add, now you are using doc.set. So what we will do, we can update while editing or set while creating, but there is a one method like set item to map, but here there is a one option we can give, set options merge equal to true. When we enable this merge, it will automatic merge, means while creating it will set, while editing it will merge the document, means it is like edit, it is like set, but we don't want to miss other properties. Some document contain some other fields also, like when we rating, ranking, we don't want to miss those fields. When we set, it will create new document. We are giving all the properties here to set. It is okay to set directly, but there will be other fields also, those which are not in item properties, but that they can be there. Some other properties also, like ranking, rating, which we use in admin functionalities or any other functionalities. So you don't want to miss those, lose those fields. That's why we are using merge equal to true here. It is like edit now. It will like edit the document. Okay, what we'll do here, it is will be await. So now here we have to use this URL. What we can do here, dot copy with, before to map, we can again update that, override that item object with image URL, image URL. If it's null, it's not gets updated, because in copy with, when you queue image is a null, then it's get existing image, means there will be no any changes. But when we give actual URL, the image gets replaced. So means whenever there is a file not equal to null, image gets replaced after upload. Okay, so while adding, their file is not equal to null, because image will be empty initially. So we are going to upload image and replace with long URL. Okay, so while editing, it can be null. So if it's null, image not gets replaced. Here we will use try catch, then await. We have to access that repository here. So what we'll do, what we can do here, we can access here also item repository. It will be repository, then it will be getter. We are going to read that repository using reader. Item repository provider, then we can use that repository, write item, then here will be updated and file. Okay, then what we can do here, we can return future.error if something. Before that, we have to use loading dot start. Here loading will be end, means we are not going to update, not going to call notify listener to stop loading, because we are going back to the page. That's why no need to stop the loading. There will be smooth navigation. When there is error, we have to stop the loading. Okay, done. We will call this model. First we have to use async then try catch also await model dot write. Okay, if write is successful, we are going to back to the page. Getter dot pop context, no need anything here, this is in stateful widget. Then if something error, what we can do, in previous tutorials I have created component which is snack bar, app snack bar dot show dot message. We'll use here, we'll use app snack bar dot error here. Error, whatever it. Done, tap on done. Oh, print e, this is firebase storage related, maybe this is related to rules. Oh, okay, this is done. We have to here item is created, this is a document id and created at title, description, whatever. Okay, now we have to list this, because after listing the items we can edit. So then we'll work on edit functionality. There are some changes needs to be done. What we'll do, we will create stream provider. So let's create that items provider. Final items provider stream provider rep. We have to create one getter also, it is like function, stream function, but we are not passing any parameters, so it can be like getter also. Stream of items stream, items stream. Firestore collection items. We can add these strings in constant file also. For now we are using directly. Okay, snapshots, we'll order this also, order by created at, this is good, but this will be descending because latest item should be on top. Then snapshots, will map those snapshots, event dot documents docs dot, will again map those docs, means document snapshots, using item from Firestore. Here will be E, and after mapping we'll convert to list. This two, okay, this is done. What we will do, we can access that repository again. We don't need to get that items repository direct again, because it will create multiple instances of same item repository also, and firestore and firebase storage and all. So that's why we are using provider of that items repository. Items stream. So list, this will be list of item. Okay, done. Now what we can do here, on home page, body, we'll create async also. Final items async rep.watch items provider items async.when there is a data means items, we will use list view. When there is a error, error and stack trace will show error at the center, whatever it will be. When there is loading, center child circle progress indicator. Now here, at least you, like what we can do, you have to map that items. No need to create list view builder or anything. Okay, mapping is a good way to convert item objects to widget. So what we will do here, we'll create a card child is latest and this is our top. When title and description with minimum with much more length, it will looks good, this card. When there is a less data, it will looks empty, but this is fine. Now this is like blog. We are creating a card for like blog, or we can create here for list style also. If there is a title and description, it will be much more small, and this is fine. What we will do now, when we tap on this card, it should be go to edit page, or we can add edit icon also. For now we are going to edit on the tab. Before editing, so first check this. Whenever you go, it will gets entered and there will be initial image picked. While editing, we are going to update this item before going to write item page. So what we are going here, or going to do here, on the tab on home page, we can extract this item card. Final e item e this dot e required, and here e will be e means item. We can rename it also like item. So for well structured code, clean code, what we can do, this is item related stuff, so you can add here widgets. Here will be item card. Let's import item, then let's import here item card. Done. Now final, so we have to read that right item view model, because we need to give change initial value. Okay, now what we can do here, writer, we have to change this to consumer widget to use that widget ref dot read write item view model, then writer dot initial is equal to e initial was initial. We are giving item to the write item view model as an initial value. Create one more method which will clear the data. Description is equal to null, title is equal to null, file equal to null. It means we have cleared all the data. All are getters, no need to clear. This is we have to make it like initial is equal to item dot empty. And I need to tell one more thing, that when we giving item dot empty means item dot empty gets created with current time, like there is a created at, so it will take current date time. So whenever create a next item, it will create with previous date time. Okay, so that is the issue. So what we can do there, so also there are lot of properties we give to the editing while adding, but not while editing. Means there is a something subcategories id, we'll give id to the item while adding. While editing there is no need to give again, because that item already contains subcategory id. So sometimes we need to give some initial values also. We can give here in updated, but why we are giving that? Because it is already contain those values, it should be contained. So what we can do here, we can do like this. We can encapsulate this and make it nullable, and then if this null, we are going to is write item dot empty. And here in a getter we can update whatever we want. Copy with date time, created at date time dot now. There are a lot of properties we fill, right? It's like subcategories id or id. Sometimes we create item with id. This is done. Here we are going to give null to underscore initial. So when initial underscore is a null, it will take item dot empty. When we give value to initial, means if you want to update this, so what we will do, we will give initial this object as a value, then it will be not null, and whenever we access that initial, it will get updated initial, given initial. Okay, the item card, we are going to do this. We are going to give item as a initial, then we have to wait until he get back to home page. Then we are going to clear those values, those entered values. Clear that. What we can do is write view model dot clear. Whenever I go to add, it will be empty. When you go to edit, it will be filled. Update this card theme and keeper. What we can do here, we'll create reference before the upload image, final ref, like this, and we can use the document ID while uploading image as child, means file ID, and same here. What it will do, it will give ID, whatever the document ID, and we are using that document ID for file also. I don't know. We'll check again.